I thought I smelled something delicious.
It's a rabbit stew.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, the way we do.
I'll try anything once. If you fry it, I'll try it.
It's gonna be a deep fried stew, imagine that.
Okay.
I think the worst thing I ever tried deep fried was a deep fried potato salad.
Really?
And I tried it in New Orleans.
Oh yeah, that sounds about right.
That sounds about right, doesn't it?
Along with some frog legs and
Frog legs, of course,
alligator.
crawfish, all those things. Alligators, that's a must, like that's your breakfast.
Mustard.
Well, welcome to Germany.
Thank you.
It's so nice having you here.
It's good to be here. It's good to be back.
It's good to be back.
Yeah.
When was the last time you've been here?
I've been to Germany several times. I got to go to Berlin and Munich, Cologne. I got to come to I took my mom to Berlin for a week. So and the German fans have always been very excited about Married with Children for as long back as I can remember.
It was a great hit. It was a great hit.
Yeah.
So I'm originally Polish, and in Poland that was a great hit
Still
as well.
in Poland too, yeah.
And so that would, you would go back from school, and it was on TV, and you would, watch it and laugh with the family. And
That's your mic.
oh yeah, it's here, okay. And my dad would. Is that a...
Get this woman a new microphone.
Hello. Did I forgot to change my batteries again?
That was an inside joke from backstage earlier.
It was. Thank you for catching that. So my dad tried to identify with Al Bundy as well because he was selling women's stockings, not women's shoes. But that's.
I'm not sure which is worse.
I know, right?
Right.
But he didn't put. No.
I never thought that was such a bad job. Like, I don't know why the writers chose that to be the worst job in the world, women's shoes. I don't think it's such a horrible job, but I think the writer, Ron Levitt, the creator, he had some kind of aversion against women's feet just in general.
I think maybe this kind of movement of putting the shoe on somebody's foot, maybe that's the moment. But as well, there's a lot of memes now how Al Bundy from like one job could afford a nice house and a car that actually drove, because we cannot do that anymore from one salary.
Yeah, I know, right? A two-story house.
Two-story house in an okay neighborhood.
I always thought the same thing.
Yeah, it's like, how can he afford that? Of course they were, it was thin, but
still,
it's
not on a shoe salesman's salary.
He had to have a side hustle. Huh?
Yeah, he did. It was called playing Al Bundy.
The second thing that I would like to say is congratulations on your new baby.
Thank you.
How is it to be a father?
It's the first time was like I had a daughter first, so it was like, oh my God, the light of my life. This time it's like it's a boy and it's a whole nother game. He's tough.
Okay.
His name is Cassius.
Oh, that's a great name.
Yeah, we named him after Cassius Clay.
Of course,
Of course.
That is really nice. And do you think that having children changed you as a person?
Yeah, I have no time to do anything.
Just busy with the kids.
Yeah, I'm pretty hands-on. I change diapers and the whole thing,
So you're now married with children, huh?
I am married with children, officially.
Now in real life.
Yes.
And do you get any parental advice from married with children, like what not to do?
Well, no, but what I started understanding the jokes a lot more. Like I got the humor before, but after you have kids and you're married, now you go, oh, that's why that's so funny. Yeah, for sure.
And that writing was awesome, the writing of the sitcom, because it's so many layers of jokes that, as you say, you discover after a while,
Yeah.
So as kids, we laughed at something different. As parents, we laugh at something different. As a married person, we laugh at something different.
Exactly. And now I understand all the laying around, eating bonbons, watching TV whenever I catch my wife, doing that. I say, oh, there you go, pick Bundy.
Would you say that?
Yeah.
Oh, you get in trouble for that, huh?
Yeah, but I tease her.
And actually talking about the writers, there was not an incident, I'm losing the word in English here, but a moment that German writers came into your show and observed what you guys are doing and tried to translate Married with Children on the German market.
Very true.
And that failed.
Failed, yeah.
Massively.
Yeah.
And the name of the show, if you translate it to English, was Help, My Family is Nuts.
It should have been Help, Don't Do the Show.
Don't do the show, yeah. It failed massively. It's like top 3 failures in German comedy.
I remember precisely because they said they were going to do a German version, and they had, I don't know, maybe 8 to 10 writers, and they watched us and studied us for a couple weeks, and then the German people just were like, no, we like the old version better. So
yeah, for sure.
Well, we got lucky.
Because they just translated it to German without translating the jokes. They translated the language but not the jokes. So the jokes were still placed in American culture.
Yeah.
They didn't make sense
right.
at all. So.
You have to have the perfect mix. The writers come first, obviously, and then the actors and their performances. It all has to work out together,
And it looks like you guys had so much fun.
So much fun.
Do you have your favorite story that you like to share?
I have so many favorite. I grew up on the set from the time I was 12 years old till I was 23, and so it's just such a huge part of my life that there's so many memories. But I got to travel. We shot 3 episodes in London, England. That was a great memory. I got to travel, take my mom with me to so many different countries to visit. But the set was one of those sets where like anything goes. The producers were very, very, very funny guys, and it wasn't a very kid-friendly set. Anything went. There was a lot of cursing, and my mom had to kind of go, okay, well, this is what it is. I know this is what you want to do, but they didn't hold anything back. A lot of bad language and stories, but some of my favorite episodes were I love the Christmas episodes that we did. The one where Santa Claus is supposed to parachute into the mall, and he ends up dead in the backyard. And so we're trying to eat our Christmas dinner, and the coroner's taking the body out. And then the one with Sam Kinison, he played the angel. It was like the movie It's a Wonderful Life.
Oh yeah, okay.
But instead of everybody's life being worse, everybody's life was better if Al wasn't born. We had the perfect family.
I remember that one. Yes, yeah, that was a good one. Yeah, that was a good one.
Yeah.
So many memories now unlocked in my mind.
Yeah.
It's a great show.
Yeah.
But not only you did Married with Children, but now you also have a big catalog of voiceover works.
Yeah.
What was your favorite project to do?
I've been lucky enough to get into voiceover about 20 years ago, and I've been doing it ever since. It's been so great. I think my favorite show I do it's called Legend of Korra.
Yeah.
It's a spin-off from the Avatar series, and I play a character named Mako, who's a firebender. And it was again a well-written show. The writers were so good. It wasn't a comedy, but it was very deep and spiritual, and I really, really enjoyed doing that. And that got me into doing some more. I'm on one of the, they have all the How to Train Your Dragon series so I'm on the one on Netflix called Dragons Race to the Edge. I played Dagger, he's supposed to be a bad guy, but he's really just a kind of a bumbling idiot. It's fun to play.
That's a good way to put it. No?
Yeah.
And is the preparation for a voiceover role completely different than a full body role?
Yes.
How would you differentiate that?
Much easier.
Much easier.
Much easier. You don't have to get into wardrobe. You don't have to memorize lines. Although you want to be as familiar as humanly possible. I'll start with how it is the same. It's the same as you have to put as much into it as you would on camera, but you don't have to memorize. So, but if you don't put yourself fully into it, then it's not going to work. But it's easier, there's no doubt about it, I'm not going to lie. And also, when you're on set, you're spending 12 to 10 to 12, 13 hours a day, from 6 a.m. to 7 p.m. When you're doing voiceover, you go in at 1 o'clock and you're out at 2 o'clock.
That's perfect.
It's such a great.
But I guess you also have to put a little bit more because you have to put all of the emotions just in voice.
Just in the voice, yeah.
Facial expressions and your body language.
Yes, but that's where the good animators come in. That's why they're so talented. Because animators, they make or break your performance too. Look what they do with just eyes and how they're able to make a reaction and everything. Yeah. So again, it goes along with the actor's voice and the animator, and it's a cool process.
And I presume you only voice over when the animation is almost ready, so you can see the picture when you...
No, actually, it's the opposite.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, you're almost 99% of the time you voice first, and then they animate to
your voice.
To the voices.
That's pretty cool.
Because we could be sitting here and we could have a line, but maybe you say something spontaneous that's hilarious or touching and that wasn't written in the script. They're gonna go, oh my God, we're gonna want to animate that. So you always record first.
Okay,
Yeah.
and then they can build on top of that.
Exactly.
Exaggerate those emotions.
Exactly.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Sounds like a cool gig.
It's a great gig. It's so much fun, and it's the only thing you don't get the recognition because it's fun to be recognized and have people say, hey, but no one knows it's you. So, but it's a great job and it's fun, and I enjoy it a lot, and I can do it right out of my home studio at my house.
That's work from home. Here you go.
Yeah.
Smart. You're a smart guy.
Yeah, sometimes.
That's very good. And any new projects that you're working on now?
Right now, let's see, what am I doing? I just finished a couple films in Florida, Atlanta. I'm doing a documentary that I am producing about a nightclub that I started. It was the first Ballistics, yes. It was the first hip hop club on the Sunset Strip in Los Angeles was all rock and roll. It was long hair bands, and that was for years and years. Since the Doors, and then I brought hip hop from the inner city up to Sunset Boulevard. The cops didn't like it very much at first, but so it's a long story. But that's where the Black Eyed Peas, will.i.am, all of those guys, they all met at my club. None of them knew each other.
No way.
No one knew each other. Even Stephanie or for Fergie, they didn't know. They all met at Ballistics.
That's so cool.
And Robin Thicke and his ex-wife Paula Patton, they met at Ballistics. Leo DiCaprio was there almost every week, so it was a really cool thing. So we're just finishing editing the documentary right now.
Would you be so kind to tell us a little, a story from Ballistics that you'd like to share?
Oh my God!
I know there's probably thousands of it, but
there's so many. But we would do it on Thursday nights. And Friday was the day we would tape Married with Children. So we would rehearse all week, and then on Friday we would actually they would bring in the audience to the show. But I was so young that, I would party hard on Thursday night. It was the last night I should be partying because the next day was tape day. But when you're young, you can bounce back so fast. But we would party till 4 or 5 a.m. And then I went to work and taped the show on Fridays.
Whoa.
And if I tried to do that now, I'd be going to the hospital.
In 5 minutes, come on.
Yeah.
I cannot even stay up till 4, it's impossible.
It's crazy how you can party when you're young.
Yeah, we could have done that, we did it back in the day.
We did it. You youngsters, we're so jealous of you.
I know, right?
Actually, I'm not. I've done it all.
You did it. It's all done. Your pool of partying is full, and you don't have to go back there anymore.
And I have 2 kids, and you can't get up after a hangover and deal with a 2-year-old.
In a diaper. I would like to just remind our beloved audience that if you have a question to David, there is a microphone there so you can line up and ask a question. I bet that he will not mind any of the questions you want to ask.
I have a question. Because I know a lot of, I don't speak any German. Are there a lot of English-speaking people here? Okay. So a lot of people are just kind of listening then.
Yes.
Like, oh, okay.
And they're enjoying your presence.
Okay. Thank you.
But a lot of people, they're also shy to raise a hand, you know.
That's okay.
But they definitely speak English, like everybody have English at school as a compulsory language. Yeah.
Okay.
So maybe not the speaking is not that good, but the comprehension.
Got it. Understood.
But yeah, I wanted to ask if it's okay about starving.
Will you please be quiet? We're trying to have a panel here.
Yeah, lady from the sky, shush. I wanted to ask about starving.
Oh yeah.
Because that felt for me as a little bit of a therapy for you, wasn't it? Like a little healing as well.
Yeah.
Married with children, or
Starving is a show that I created with a couple partners that we did on crackle.com. It was at the very beginning of like web series. We were like one of the first. So we were a little before our time, meaning like it was hard to get an audience, you know? But basically it was a show I exaggerated my life like beyond. It was almost like a cartoon, really, you know? Where I was like unemployed and, you know, a total alcoholic and do you remember the scene where I drive off on the moped with the G-string hanging off my head? It was a very politically incorrect show, like really politically incorrect. So bad so that Sony yanked it off the air. You can't find it on the web. You can't even find it on the dark web, let alone the regular web. It's gone.
did you get sued for that, or
No, I
just
mean,
pull it out?
they just pulled it because they don't want to get in trouble either. So
Yeah, fair enough.
it was just too. We took it a little too far. But there was some really funny moments though.
It was really funny to shoot as well, no?
Oh, we had a blast. And those are all my best friends that, you know, Korn is one of my best friends that play my partner, so.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
That must be really cool. That's good. Thank
What
you.
did they say?
Thank you, lady.
Is someone trying to tell me to leave?
No, they're looking for a guy.
Oh.
He got lost.
Who is this guy?
Raphael something.
Okay, Raphael, we're looking for you.
We're waiting. And I can see that we have a question from the audience. Hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thanks. I just
Let me get my binoculars out. Hold on a second.
I'm
Okay.
quite big. You can't miss me. That's right. Can you explain perhaps, like you were very young when you get cast for the show, but can you explain perhaps how you actually got the role and also perhaps just like the impact it had on your own like well-being over time because you were very young.
I'm having a small.
How did you get the role? Because you're quite young. So
Got it.
how did it start?
Got it.
And then, do you think it had impact on your well-being because you were growing up on set?
Yeah, so I got into acting when I was only a little baby because my whole family, my dad is a costumer. I did all the costumes for a lot of movies, and my older brother, his picture was on my dad's office wall, and there was a producer who was doing a film, and my brother was a really good-looking, cute kid, and so he used him for him, and that's how it started. And then my sister started doing commercials, and then I started doing them, but I was better than all of them. No, I'm just kidding.
Family business.
Family business, yeah. And then I just started auditioning. You know, I did like shows like Family Ties and Fantasy Island and The Love Boat and all those old shows. Little House on the Prairie, and so it was just another audition, quite honestly. And then they hired another actor. I didn't get it the first time. They hired another actor to play Bud and another actress to play Kelly. So they shot the pilot, and for whatever reason, they didn't like the performances of the kids, so they recast. And my agent snuck me back in, and I did better this time. And that's how I got into it, and I luckily landed the role. And part B is, yeah, I mean, it definitely affects your well-being. It depends on your parents and how they parent you. It can either make you a better person or a worse person. for me, it's done both. I mean, I've had my issues with it. You know, fame is a strange thing that young. It's very strange. I used to hate it when people recognized me at first. I didn't want anyone to recognize me. I would go out with a hat and sunglasses. It just felt weird. I was always paranoid and I hated it. And then finally, but it was just people trying to be nice and giving me love, but like, I just felt strange.
It's weird.
It is weird, right? So then, I don't know, at some point I just realized, okay, these people are just trying to give me love and tell me how much, you know, they enjoyed the show and they want a moment with you, and then I just started to enjoy it, and that's when I started to enjoy fame, you know, and to realize this is what I do for a living, and this is who I became, and here I am. And yeah, so, but I came from a dysfunctional family like most of us, you know, so I'm still a work in progress, put it that way. I'm working on myself, and
we all are.
Exactly,
we all are.
exactly.
Thank you. Thank you for the question. Next one, please.
Yes, we've been talking about political correctness, and especially nowadays it's a huge challenge, I would suppose. So first of all, how do you deal with it in America? Because I'm sure it's like in Europe, you have to be politically correct all the time.
It's worse in America. We started it.
Oh, really? I'm not so sure. And the second question is, do you think that Married with Children could still be broadcast today like it was at that time?
Okay, so a couple answers to it. I mean, I enjoy that everybody is becoming together as one, and that we're all recognizing that, you know, we're all one family on earth here, and that people are being included and not being made fun of all the time, you know, because that is something that is difficult on anybody's psyche, especially if they're born that way, you know. And so I enjoy the inclusiveness of it. Do I think it goes too far in some circumstances? I do. But those are my own beliefs and my own opinions. I don't like it when it gets in the way of comedy. You know, it's kind of a bummer that you can't do the comedy that you want to do sometimes because people will get offended by it. Because if you don't like it, you should just turn the channel, in my opinion. And part B to your question was, do you think Married with Children could survive in today's world? We're actually gearing up to do an animated version of Married with Children, which would be animated. And part of the reason of that is because you can get away with a lot more humor in animation than you can with actual humans talking for some reason. And we already shot a 3-minute presentation with the drawings and the characters, and we're all 4 of us, the cast, voicing the characters. And it's very funny. I didn't think it was going to be that funny at first, but when I saw it, it really made me laugh. And it's even more, we can get away with more because we can curse and we can say, you know, fuck and all those good words.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
We're very excited to see that.
Yeah, so it looks like it's about to sell, but we'll see. Like they're taking it out now. There's a lot of interest, and we're pretty excited about it. But you'll be hearing more about it in the next few months, I think.
And somebody will have to take a risk, like one of those companies, no?
Yeah, it is risky, but they're also, you know, even though it's very funny, but the jokes have changed slightly, you know.
It must be adapted to the times as well, no?
Exactly.
Thank you for that question. Thank you. Okay.
No more making fun of the French, I guess. The Bundys used to always make fun of the
I
French.
hate the French. My dad hates the French. He never been to France. All right, we have time for one last question, so no pressure.
Yes. Hi, David. At first,
Hi.
I will thank you for the completely performance, what you've done the 11 years in this whole completely comedy series. I love it so much. When I've seen this when I was young, it was a very radical height for me.
Thank you.
It is one of
maybe it isn't my favorite sitcom until now. And I love your performance so much, and I would like to know, we see you in some episodes, you fell off the rooftop, you get electricized, and...
Wait, in one episode, what? That was the last thing you said?
Yeah, you get, in some episodes, you fell off the roof, you get electricized, or you get burned, and so... And in fact, what was one of the difficult things in this whole series, what you have to do there?
Or like a physical thing, yeah?
Yeah, well, I think you were 11 or 12 years old the first times, and so I think it will be very difficult sometimes, some scenes. Or what do you
asking if the physical part was difficult?
Yeah, so if the physical part, like you got electrocuted, fell from the roof.
No, they actually made dummies like fake of just me and Al, because we were always the ones falling off the roof and things, so they made it life-size dummies, real dolls, our weight, everything, really heavy. But so they would have it on, connected to a wire, and so on cue they would release it and they would dump it into the backyard. So that was obviously not even us. The hardest part of any of those of the show is when you just have this really, like, sometimes you'd have long lines, especially Ed, poor Al. He'd have those speeches that he would talk on and on and on and on. It may be 1 or 2, 3 pages of dialogue. That's the hardest of anything. The electrocution part and falling off the roof, that's the easy stuff. It's the memorizing 3 pages of one line that's very difficult.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you for being a fan, Tim. Thank you.
Well, and that's the whole time that we have for you here on stage.
It, huh?
We